All right, and we are back. And ladies and gentlemen, it's an absolute honor to sit down with my friend Kat again. He runs Leo Track and Tour
Yep.
Escapes,
And we also do the trip in ours.
and the trip in ours. Absolutely, Kat, welcome back, my friend.
Cheers, man. Oh, what a past year I had, and probably the worst year of my life. We're still kind of recovering from it. We still got some issues. Got a bit of a hangover from dealing with family stuff and whatnot. But I have never seen demand this high. I compare it to post COVID. Everyone just wants out. People are still a little bit scared. They're like, is it okay to go? Am I okay to go? Okay to go? Yeah, you can go. We're already taking bookings now. I'm seeing a bit more hesitancy now because people are just like, especially folks from the United States, people from Brazil or Canada, Ecuador, um, and we'll definitely be. The slots are already filling up at Red Bull Ring is Red Bull Ring is full. Mugello is full. The Germans, as usual, but even though the rest of the Europeans are planning ahead early in ways I haven't seen in years. So big demand. So where are you? What are your dreams? Are you still singing home at the couch? Huh? Yeah, well, probably today you are, but afterward, what's that? Are you living your dreams? Huh? So anyway, Chris, what do you want to ask?
So, how was your 2025 tour?
Man, there's just some stuff I don't even want to talk about. Um, I got to do the new track last year was Hockenheim. Incredible facility with tons of history. Uh, the whole Porsche facility is right next to it with an old Porsche driving program, and just as we were pulling out, the F1 Junior Cup is coming in, and I got people walking around with shirts with signatures from all these incredible F1 racers, and everyone's like, "This is the track. Let's get it done. Let's do it. Let's do it." Really cool. The paddock filled with like the local Rennleitung 110 was there to train people how to ride, doing drills and really some limited space, but it didn't matter. They got parking spaces and whatnot. It's a it's a pretty sizable facility. Getting a little old, a little long in the tooth. Needs some refurbishment here and there, but still, what an incredible circuit. Not far away from Schwetzingen with the most incredible palace I have ever seen in my life. And that's saying something because I've been around. But the Palace of the Palatine at Schwetzingen was a godly amount of history, stunning. I'm like, oh, they had infinity pools back in 1905. Yes, they did. So they took some lessons from the Moors in Spain, and ooh, there's a lot of places that you can't see, but they show pictures. But on the tour alone rocked my soul to the core with some of the photos that were on the wall. We stayed in the old barracks of the soldiers, and across the road from us are the barracks for the cavalry. Cavalry had the best beer. Huge, big, giant vats making beer, big polished, big, tons of beer drinking. There's literally a phrase that goes all the way around the room, and of course, depending on how many beers you have, can you still say the phrase around the room? It's this horrible German tongue twister or whatnot. And ain't nobody sneak up on you while you're at the bar because you can see the entire reflection of the whole room in the vats. They're right there, and you can see them, crawling down, crawling back up, testing the beer, adding in whatever they add to make incredible beer.
I
So
love
yeah,
it.
that was amazing. Incredible motorcycle. Geez, I should know his name, but he had his own bar there that was just like, geez, like a couple meters away from there, and collections of bikes, and he was a custom builder, and just all of his life and all these helmets that he has, signed helmets from people. He's been in tons of U.S. motorcycle magazines and whatnot. I was floored by the memorabilia that was there. His custom KTM was sitting right there. I got pictures of me sitting on it. It was amazing. So I mean, that's what we do. That was the first tour is always the hardest. Always the hardest is when you're you'd think we get better, but there's always going to be some rough edges. So anyway, yeah,
Absolutely.
it was a tough run. Munich finished well, went really well. Again, staying in our 15th century villa there in Tuscany, staying in Bormio, and then always starting at the tiny little hotel that's a block away from the BMW R&D Center. Those guys are walking around all the time. There's BMW R&D people literally in eating breakfast a table over from you, who are looking at data. I wish they would stop looking at data and actually get out on the bike and actually write it. And then you go, oh, maybe we shouldn't do that software update before we put it out to the public. Uh, but I've ridden thousands of miles now on the new 1300 GS. Definitely put some sessions in on last year's S1000 RR. I always did at least 3 sessions because I'm still, my arm is still recovering from a little mishap in Slovenia. So, wow. Okay, ask me something now.
So obviously you've had a successful tour last year, which is absolutely
A
amazing what
couple
you
of them.
do.
A couple of them.
Yeah.
Some of them we had some problems, but the problems mostly stem from people who come on the tour, what they brought with them.
Yeah.
Every tour is different. No matter how many years it's run, every tour is different because you've got changing road conditions, you've got updated track, you've got different bikes. More importantly, you have a different people, and that's the secret sauce. That's always been our secret sauce: is who shows up, because you're part of the tour, and you're a plumber, you're an accountant, you're designing engines for the new Artemis moon launch. You know, these people show up, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you are. You know, you're a diplomat from some foreign government. You're ex-military, and you clearly have a different name than you originally went in with. It doesn't matter. You've done your tours of duty over and over. Now it's time to strap on some pucks and get some.
That's right.
Nobody knows who you are behind that helmet. It doesn't matter.
The escape.
Yes, layout escapes. That's why it was never layout tours. It was always an escape. I wanted people to get out of their daily routine, get out of their heads, be somebody else. Be the hero of your story. Ride where your heroes ride. That was 14 years ago. That was the idea. Boy, if we made some mistakes and learned from them, back then. But wow, geez, I was just at the AFM Awards banquet. Aaron Cohn, Aaron Cohn was on the grid, 2016 at Sachsenring. He, was using a rented R1 that we got for him, fully stock. He started 16th on the grid and blasted through with some R1 torque. Really, just pure skill. Yeah, just absolutely amazing. And he went through and he got second,
Holy
racing
shit.
against the locals. We were ecstatic in the pits. We were just went absolutely berserk. We couldn't believe it. Sorry, silence on my phone.
That's awesome.
And there he was at the AFM Awards banquet, winning every championship for the little lightweights, the 300, 400. It was, and had another guy from tour last year, Nolan. Damn it! Just I'm gonna get him next year. And yeah, he will. Game on, dude. The game is on yet again. Uh, so it was just such a great night to see so many old friends and hear their stories and people who were recovering from injuries and passing on my advice on how to recover from injuries and nerve damage. There's a guy there stuck in a wheelchair, busted up, freaking everything. Still paralyzed from the waist down. Just you know, just relearning how to move and breathe. And eventually, hopefully 4 months from now, he's going to really learn how to walk. And I'm like, how's that weird tingly feeling in your nerves, buddy? Yeah, it's so odd. Yeah. So I gave him my secret recipes, from both me and mostly Mouse. Also, she's a wicked witch in the kitchen. And none of these recipes are new. These are thousands of years old. Using dried, powdered up mushrooms, you know, and using whey protein, using protein. What happens when you freeze milk? Guess what? You can freeze dry milk and you can drink it. This is not new technology. This is standard stuff. It's just now we know more about the molecular structures and how they benefit human health and whatnot. And if I see one more ad on TV for some medication, I have to give all these disclaimers. I'm like, what?
Bro.
You're gonna put that pill in your mouth? What? You've lost their fucking mind. It's like, I mean, we can have people go on and on about nutrition, and sometimes they know what they're talking about, and sometimes they're just speaking right out of their mouths. Really is upsetting. But yes, I got my pills. I take my vitamin D. Just really get the sun that much. I'm whiter than scared milk. But I'm a Northman. That's what I do. That's my genetic legacy. I'm a genetic throwback. Got plenty of Neanderthal in me too. The carpet is not bad. I still have plenty of hair.
I love it.
But, I'm getting old, and boy, nothing makes you feel age quicker than having an injury. I'm ready for 110. I've already gone through it. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. I told everyone I want to retire on the moon. 1/6 gravity. Bring it.
Bring it. Let's go. I'm with you. Let's with you. And I call it getting younger, not getting older, because we're getting
Well,
younger.
yeah, it's just you learn more about what your body can and can't do. Still,
But you come a far way since the first time we talked after your injury.
yeah, it still doesn't feel like my own life. It still feels like I have blue.
Because you had like that robot blue glove on.
Yep. Yeah, I did. Yep. Yeah, I did. Trying to strengthen it and whatnot, and trying to keep it flex, and I still have that. But I can operate a clutch. This part will be the last part. It's still, this doesn't, it's pins and needles. But I am not the first person to experience this. The paddock is filled with people who've had injuries like this. Military, they've had bullets fly through them. What the fuck do I? When the bullet hits the bone, that's when shit gets real.
Yeah.
When you're cutting somebody open to try to keep them alive, then you know what's really going on.
Yeah.
But people like me, they don't let us out much.
They don't let me out in public too often.
Right. Anytime I was working with some of my military buddies, or even just working door to bar, I am the designated decoy. You cannot miss me. I know how to project my energy big and loud, and there's plenty of my clients who are big, loud guys and whatnot. And then it's our small, tiny guys. But I've done flanking maneuver. I mean, in the paddock there with Carter's, somebody was giving Leia Carter some shit, because they were doing wheelies up and down the paddock late at night. I'm like, this paddock belongs to her. She's rented the paddock. Don't fuck. So I was about 20 meters back. I just took a flank position. I'm like, don't screw with Leia. This is her paddock. She's the queen. She's the empress. And I'll sweep your leg and throw a punch right into your solar plexus. And then what are you doing?
So you better bow down to the queen.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, this is not my my little pit area. That's my pit area, and people are welcome in. I give away mead and whatnot. Probably going to do more music, singing songs later. It's just unfortunately, to the embarrassment of some, I've become kind of a connoisseur of karaoke. So, because I can't really, musical instruments are kind of helping with me right now. So all I've got is the voice. And my charming habit of picking up various accents.
I love it, Kat. So 2026.
Good sir.
How does the tour look for you so far? The Escape.
The escapes. Well, we got escapes. Okay, Munich to Magello. Track and tour is happening June 28th to July 9th. This originally was created for a man's 50th birthday. Blue out there in Northern California, hawking beer up and down the coast. David always brings the best beer to the paddock. Oh, I can't top it. Can't top it. Scrimshaw is my favorite. Absolutely. And then we've got our Dolomites Trip and R, which is a less appeal to track guys. But you never know. Maybe you've only got a week off and you want to practice your riding on some twisty, trippy roads. The most scenic in the world, the one you've got to do before you die. It's the Dolomites. And that's happening July 12th to July 18th. It's bargain price, but it's a travel training tour to teach you how to travel abroad. You're an international, you're a motorcycle rider. Okay? International travel should not intimidate you. Most
Not
people are
at all.
scared of motorcycles. Stop being afraid of international travel, right? If you be an effective American abroad, it's going to give you shit. You might get some odd questions. What is wrong with you people? I don't understand. I try to watch the TV and can you tell me what's happening? Because we just don't understand. Yeah, you'll get that. Bavaria to Hessen, it will be a test run. I'm trying out this year for next year's. Then for our graduates, we are working on Vienna to Red Bull Ring, our track and tour. That's the new one I'm developing. That is going to be for experienced previous layout clients only. That is the toughest riding I've ever done in the Julian Alps. You'll understand what KTM is all about as soon as you ride the Julian Alps. Short wheelbase, nothing but an engine. Yeah. Oh, okay. This is where they test the bikes. They test them in the Julian Alps, and they freaking rip. They're so fast and so talented. But people have been trained up on these roads, so now you understand why fucking KTM brings it. They've had problems with financing and whatnot, but whew, that's some tough riding. Changing pavement, weird things with the light, shadows. This is a place where they think it's perfectly normal to go from cobblestones to gravel to dirt to pavement within the span of a kilometer.
Holy shit.
It's batshit crazy. Uh, and so yeah, that's for our grads who've done landscape tours. So we're developing that one. And the good news that I got just while I was in the green room there was I got the hotel I wanted in Vienna at the exact location. It's going to be perfect. So I'm going to be riding back. I already have euros in my account. Boom! These rooms belong to us. Okay. After that, the Pyrenees Trip and R is out in September, the 27th to October 3rd, and then Tour of Catalonia. Tour of Catalonia happens October 7th to October 16th. This is our third run of a type of tour that I'm really, really pleased we've developed because there's only 3 hotels the entire tour. This is the best tour for couples because you arrive in an international port city, Barcelona, take it, a couple days early. It's a sound of music. Sound of music is everywhere, and I don't mean the hills are alive. Oh no, fuck that shit. The Austrians can't stand. And Americans, we've heard it way too much. No, this is a musical city. Dance, yoga. Everyone's running around in yoga pants and gym shorts. It is the healthiest city I have ever seen. Everyone is ridiculously fit. I feel ashamed to show my face on the streets of Barcelona because you're never more than 2 blocks away from a gym. And they're all packed into the gyms, just pumping iron and getting fit. Every stoplight you stop at, it's a scooter race. When the light changes, off they go, man. There's a bar there. I was told by one of my colleagues, and I need to go visit it. They literally have R1 engines, there at the pull as you pull the beer there on the bar. I'm like, okay, yeah, I need to track this down. And Court of Catalunya is we go into the mountains first, and we stay in a lovely little town, way up in the mountains. Puigcerdà. We stay in Puigcerdà. And then your passenger can choose to go out, with you that day, or stay there, or he don't care. Um, uh, and then they can enjoy the spa, walk around the town, go hiking, rent a bike. It's beautiful. It's up in the mountains. It's a beautiful country. Incredible food, of course, everywhere because this is when we stop at the lunch stops there when we're going to Catalonia, and literally you see him pulling up a truck with wild boar in the back of it, and then they let loose the wild boar, and that's dinner. Dinner is just arrived because that's why you always, wherever you go, you always, what's the dish of the day? What have you got? And you find out the local specials for today because that's what's fresh. You see cars parked on the side of the road. What are they doing? They're going out into the woods and they're harvesting mushrooms. And they bring back their big old sack of mushrooms and they'll sell them to the restaurants and whatnot, or they grow their own. It's this is as fresh as it gets. Next, after we're in Bushara, then we go to Costa Brava. Costa Brava is right there on the Mediterranean coast, and again, a type of hotel that will never be built again. It's on a promontory. It violates all sorts of environmental rules now, but that hotel is there. Uh, Genius of a night manager. Uh, the guy, well, I started naming off Silicon Valley, greats. He's like, yep, 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 yep. Wow. That guy's also in charge of security. So from foreign dignitaries to your 82-year-old grandma, he's got that place and dialed. And it's stunningly gorgeous. The ocean breeze comes through. You can go down and walk on the beach. And again, we're doing a day run out of there. You can stay. You can stay on the beach. Just soak up the sun. Get your toes in the sand. I hate the feel of sand, but other people love it. My wife loves it.
I love it
Uh,
too.
yeah, yeah. And, I do what I always do. I go out and I talk to the locals and I learn about their music, their culture, learning to speak more Catalan, and also some more Spanish and some good music. I learned about an artist called Rosendo. Rosendo he's like one of these rock and roll guitar heroes of Catalonia and Spain. And so I'm trying to learn the songs, mostly Flojos de Pantalon. Uh,
I love it.
yeah, and Carlos and Pepe. Carlos Pepe says, "Hey, back. We're always here. We'll see you next year." Just they're at the Tres Gatos Cafe, the Three Cats Cafe. So
Love it.
this is what I do. Okay, so and then of course after we're done with it, we head to the center of all MotoGP, which is Barcelona, because that's where MotoGP is headquartered, and we ride Barcelona circuit, Barcelona, Catalunya. And you get to ride the turn where Rossi made that impossible pass on Jorge Lorenzo. And after you've ridden that, you will still go, how the bloody fuck did he do that? No. It's downhill. It's slightly off camber. You're heading for the main straight. What? Just how do you just ducked right in? And I've seen some people, do that pass, um, but not at the speeds of the MotoGP guy. It was just unreal, especially going against Lorenzo. The guy's a machine. Just click, 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 click. Would knock stuff out as soon as he gets in the zone. He's like Maverick Vinales. When Vinales has his head straight, he's unstoppable. But he has to get his head in that right space. Well, Jorge Lorenzo is better. Was better at getting his head in the space. And but shit, Rossi is Rossi. He's racecraft. There's such a thing as a good rider, and then there's good racecraft. Rossi just got inside his head. I have to go for it. I push, I push, I have to go for it.
He said,
Everybody
I
has
love the front Bridgestone tie. I said, fuck.
And I just, the look, you can still replay that, over and over.
Oh,
It
it's
never gets
awesome.
old. Never gets old. Watch it.
By the way, people, it's 2009 MotoGP season, Catalonia. Last
Yeah.
race. It was
It
one of the
was,
best ever.
yeah. It was similar to the battle between Rossi and Soner that I was there for at Laguna Seca.
Yep.
And watched that one in person, and just we were going berserk in the stands. I was in the Ducati stands. We didn't care. We saw what we knew right then. We were there at one of the greatest moments in MotoGP history because Stoner had the bike,
And the
he had the
pace.
speed, he had the pace. all Rossi had was, I'm gonna fuck with him. It's just, and that's, you get somebody angry. You make somebody angry.
Yep.
That's, it's like Darth Vader, man. You can always count on him being aggressive. If you can count on that, then somebody becomes predictable, and so you can make them do what you want them to do. By being, I got poked. See what
Poking a bear.
happens. So anyway, yeah, racing Catalunya, my favorite city track in the world. Absolutely favorite city track. And then finally we round out the year with the roller race. Portugal, Portimao. This will be the third time we've run this tour, and now we've got it done. I know exactly where we're going, what hotels we're not using anymore, what hotels we will again. Of course, our Capitan, David Noya, who broke his collarbone chasing Alex Rins back when the Earth was young. It takes us across Andalusia, and yes, you're supposed to say it with a little bit of a lisp because the king at one point apparently had a list, so everybody had to adjust
That's
this.
hilarious.
Yeah. But it became very popular. uh, Local roads all the way across, local food again, like we always do. But David Noya, he speaks Spanish, a little bit of Portuguese, but he's ridden these roads thousands of times before. He does, tire testing for Dunlop. He did some BMW car testing because they wanted to get some data. He's Dr. Smooth. He's just so smooth. And I have challenged Michael Hayna of Yamaha Champions Riding School
Mm-hmm.
to try to learn what he can from David Hayna. Because just wicked smooth. Doesn't get injured anymore. Uh, he's always just thinking 5 seconds ahead, and he's much quieter. He's quiet, quiet with a cat. He has his cat, but he is the man of the mountains. It says on the back of his shirt, "My blood is the stones of Montserrat." It's very important. He is a mountain man. He always will be. Uh, wow, he's just a privileged rider. He's way better rider than I am, but I'm learning. I'm still this big giant guy. Daddy oof. So we rounded out with geez, more to say about Portimao because we don't stay in Portimao. We don't stay at the track there because you stay at the track for the food side. You're stuck at the track, right? We do that in the Czech Republic. We stay at the hotel there because that's a better situation. Um, but we're staying in Alvor, not in downtown Portimao. So we're way between Portimao and the race. Kind of fun roads back and forth between the track too. We know all the little back ways around there. So even getting to the track itself is a bit of an adventure. You got some good highway speeds to ramp it on. We know all the little back roads to get into the track. So we're beating folks in, having fun. Facility at Portimao is stunning. This last year we were there a week before MotoGP, so we got to see all the engines, all the bikes, the crew coming in early, the unloading. The circus was coming to town, and the Portuguese more laid back, more calm, not as judgmental as other folks are in Spain. They were never conquerors; they were explorers. That's a different thing.
Very
That's
different
a
thing.
different thing. And but this is a source of national pride for them. Big government money, big local money. It means so much for the tourism industry, and so that track is amazing facility. Um, it's it's on par with Redwood in terms of how modern, up to date it is. Very safe, but it has to be because it is crazy. It is the roller coaster. Up, down, trying to keep the front wheel down as you're going up going over the hill. Oh damn it! I got to run wide again. He was. Will you pick a line, fucker? Oh shit! I got to run wide again, and then I catch back up to the. Absolute blast. The downhill spot after the straight is not as nasty as it looks. You get used to it pretty quick. But that first really tight turn afterwards, after going down through that, oh, that's tough. Oh, because you got to brake so hard in your hips and your chest and everything. It's just going, you're feeling the G forces, and then off you go again. And that's why we do 3 days, because you need 3 days to put it all together and just keep working. But really, it's just about always staying calm and thinking ahead, just clicking them off, rolling with traffic, get through. This is training. We're not in a race. Some people really need to be reminded of that. Because you get our buddies together, you're like, come on, let's go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, don't you do that, fucker. Do that to me, fucker. But we're all sharing beers at the end of the day. And some people feel pretty ashamed about their behavior on track. And I got some personal development to do. I have issues. But don't we all? So anyway, also my favorite hotel now is the hotel we chose in California, and that is saying a lot. So I've a couple of people that I've got 2 people who've booked for it already. I'm like, I cannot wait to see your face, especially when you go down to the spa, because this place is set up for MotoGP racing. They have a full medical facility, registered nurses on site and doctors, and then a big hospital right next to it for whatever you might need. Crazy and incredible view of town. Yeah, this is worthy of couples as well. It's a bit more of a stretch for couples, because we're bouncing across. We're going from Andalusia, and then probably going to do either Jerez or Cadiz. I'd like to do Jerez because, well, there's a race.
I was gonna say it's a ref.
Yeah, I've ridden Jerez. And, what a that place is like an arena. Now entering the arena, because if you have arm problems, it's going to come out of Jerez really bad. It's braking zones, which is really difficult. But that's a very physical track. It's an endurance trial, and it's very narrow. Finding a place to pass there is really difficult. So it's really a question of balls and racecraft and physical fitness. So yeah, we would like to at least stop by, take a picture, grab a few souvenirs, and then just saunter into Jerez de la Frontera and sip some of the local sherry, and wonder what the poor are doing today. You hold your glass. Would you like a bit of sherry, dear? Oh, yes. Lovely this time of year. Yeah. But next day we're getting dirty and grimy. The taste of bugs as they hit your helmet. And heading to Portugal and Portugal. And once you cross the border, you know you're crossing. It's very different. The colors of the buildings, they're white and blue. All of them are white and blue. Whereas in Andalusia, they're always just pure, because they're trying to reflect the sun, and they have been doing that for centuries. Got to keep it cool. Where do you think? You look at the old Adobe buildings here in California. Wonder where they brought that technology from. They brought it from Spain. So we get around.
Love it.
Yeah, no, it's now my favorite hotel, and can't wait to do it. And yeah, that's the 2026 season, and as it's shaping up. And get off your butts, folks. We're seeing demand be very high over in Europe, but Americans are still a bit trepidatious. They have the desire, they have the hunger, how long you've got to live? How many thousands of days? One of our clients, Larry, he has an app on his phone that estimates how many days he has left.
What?
Yeah,
that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's. Look who you're talking to.
I know, but
crazy people. We're crazy track nuts. We're fucking ludicrous.
I got 3,500 days still left to live on this planet. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, well, I think I've admitted to a number of people I had to come out last year as a and that kind of puts a target on you. I'm not wearing the glasses because I'm an insufferable douchebag. I'm wearing the glasses because I'm trying to save my eyes from the glare. You know, but you're wearing glasses too. It's just mine are rose and trying to see the world in a rose.
Love it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I was just down at NASA last week just to see what maybe can do some consulting work or something because I am the voice from the outside world. I've talked to people who are Palestinian terrorists. I've talked to people who are war criminals in Senegal. There are actually people in Spain who think I'm an angel
Really?
or a saint or something. You know, I have this little pin here. I'm a patron saint of the Archangel Uriel, which is the angel of enlightenment. You know, but also like sword, be good. This could be why military guys always need to show up and say that something like I was never allowed to serve. I don't know why. Nobody's ever. My selective service card turned up and it said I had some government testing early on as a kid. Might have something to do with that. I contend that even though we're supposedly 1% of the population, which makes it kind of a lonely place in a lot of cases, I contend that there are more than 1% because I have met people who are minors. I mean, like not like little kids miners, like people, open pit mining or down deep in the earth, blowing shit up. And I've talked to one of them who was drunk. Guy was just guy was just drunk, bad drunk. He was just drinking Coors Light, which to me tastes like formaldehyde. You know, waved past some wheatgrass. But he wasn't that drunk. He was really just he just couldn't stand just working as a miner anymore. He says, "I'm going to drink myself. I'm going to drink myself." I said, "No, man, make a choice. What do you like?" He goes, "Well, you're going to think this is silly, but I like science shows." I said, "Really? Tell me about a scientist you like." "Well, I really like that Stephen Hawking." "Yeah, this is going to kill you, but I met Stephen." "Oh, briefly." And I said, "You have a choice." And I could just see in him, it's like, "You're not crazy. Your mind's just moving at a higher clock speed than the folks around you. And you've been drinking and self medicating. You're capable of so much more." And I see people like this in the paddock too. You know, ooh, coming up through the rank. Yeah, and she's been accused of being absolutely batshit crazy more than once. That's Bridget LeBaron. Watch Bridget. She had a full ride to go to Stanford. She gave it up to be a ski bum and study hydrology and see how snow moves around the mountain. Yeah, she's wicked, wicked smart, and she's batshit crazy. Yeah, and she's heading to the Isle of Man this year to lead the women's run around the Isle of Man. But I'm watching to see what Bridget's doing because I'm I'm old. I'm going to be old and decrepit one day. But here comes the next generation. So it's our responsibility, whether you're smart or whether you're wise, teach the next generation to be decent people. Be kind to your animals, be kind to your people, and life will start to flow as you're flowing through traffic and flowing through people. I could have do my little, as I'm moving people and whatnot, get it around. It comes from riding somebody. I have an idea. You know when that car in front of you is going to turn left, and they haven't signaled. You already know because you got 10,000 hours of experience out there. You kind of know that that rider in front of you is probably not going to brake properly and push. Oh shit! There he goes. Elo sign.
Yep.
You start to read people when you've had enough hours on the pavement, enough hours on the track. When your rear end's kind of getting squiggly, you're like, "Oh, almost lost it. Oof, saved it." Because you've flipped off enough as a little kid, and you high sighted. You learn. Your little boy Rossi, what's he doing? He's going to be a great kid.
He is a great kid already. He rides his dirt bike every once in a while. He's just wide open, dude. I grab him by his head and he's still doing this. And I say, okay, let's go.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's our responsibility to teach the next generation to make this planet, make your neighbor
Better.
better. Yeah, it starts with your tribe.
Yep.
People want me to donate to donate to charities and whatnot. I'm like, I'm sorry, charity starts at home. It starts with your street. It starts with your town. You know, and I've had homeless people living in my house, ex-military living in my house. One girl, uh, Martha. She's she's my mija. We saved her out of a shitty fucking apartment, and now she is the assistant to the dean of neurology, pediatric cancer at the University of Peoria. She's one smart cookie, but you know, we all have our low points and we all have our high. Right now, I'm trying to climb back up. After a injury and problems with my hip for so many years. Well, you got to be there and support. You got to support your tribe. You know?
100%,
Support your
man.
tribe first, and then support your town. And then move on from there. Anyway,
It's funny
nice.
you said Bridget LeBaire. I'm actually going to
Yeah.
have her on the podcast
Oh, awesome,
coming up.
awesome,
Yep.
awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, she's nuts. She's fucking fat shit crazy.
That's awesome.
And she's faster than I ever will be. Because it's all about space time dilation. This is an aspect of physics that goes back to Einstein. He originally wondered what would it be like to ride my bicycle at the speed of light. It was a thought experiment. He was never particularly good at mathematics, but yeah, you start moving the equations around. How many minutes do you think we've added to our life by going with fast? Because when you move at higher speed, your watch goes slower. This is proven time and time again with atomic clock. So, how many minutes have we added to our lives by hauling fucking ass?
Hopefully a bunch.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'd like to think it's like, yeah, the amount of cigarettes I've consumed over the years. Well, I'd like to think maybe I've added a few more minutes on.
Hopefully the speed will counteract that.
Right, that's a thought because my very good friend Enrico, he would literally go through 2 packs, sometimes 3 packs a day. He would smoke while filling up the gas tank of his bike. He would smoke while he was riding. And smoking is much more common in Europe, but there's a point, okay? Yeah, and yeah, so yeah, my V4 is Enrico Grassi, seventh generation Roman. Yeah, had that full on Roman nose. It's classic. And he taught me a lot about Italy. He told me how to say "Bona, bona." It's good, huh? Yeah. You know, Maurizio, his friend from Tuscany, he died smoking way too much too. Christ, the last time I saw Maurizio, we were packed three abreast across in a fucking tiny ass van, and I'm surrounded by. I've got two guys smoking next to me. I'm like, all right, fucking, yeah. Lean over. Okay, God, let me ask. Where's the ashtray? It's worse than being in a paddock and like sucking up the fumes out of your R1. uh, anyway, so I miss him. I named my VFR after him. Like, I think it's important that you name your great racers always do. Car or bike. So my street bike is named Rico. Rico Suave. No, it's for Enrico. A lot of our customers did. He did our first Italy tour. He used to say to me in the helmet over the helmet comms because we use chatterbox radios. He said, "Hey, cat, see this is Italy." As we're riding through some incredible vista. Yeah, he was very proud to be Italian. And he said, this is it. Look around. Huh? This is the folk color. This is my favorite family. Okay, we stop. We get some tagliatelle, we get an espresso. Eh? We'll be Italian. Just forget, don't you're not you're travelers today. You're Italian. Yeah, he's such a great guy. Everyone misses him. Anyway, okay. What do you want to hear about? What gear we're
So,
packing? What's going on?
yeah, I mean, it sounds like your 2026 tour is going to be absolutely proper mega, 100%.
It's mega. It's always mega with you. Yeah,
Mega.
yeah. Some people who should remain nameless because I would like to swift kick them in the nuts at the moment. It's epic. It's
It's
epic.
epic.
Absolutely epic. Like, well, yeah, it is, and we worked hard to make it that way. It's, nobody wants to see the politicians say you don't want to see sausage being made. Don't be sausage being made. You're backstage at the concert. Okay, yeah, you got the best show in the house, but you know what? You had to unpack everything. You had to schedule a hotel. You had to drive the bus. That's another thing my friend Martha did. She drove a tour bus all across the U.S. And so she, for a rock band, so she knows the drill. She knows about being really good. And,
Love it.
I know it's Channel 19. Channel 19 on my CB. Like, yeah, Altrans. Well, we don't have Altrans. It's, Altrans number 45. I'm 5 miles from Coalinga. I'm on Micro 35. You got your inside rear that's about to tear itself apart and turn into a road gator. You know, this is what you do. When you're on the road, you got your tribe. All right. You know that guy you're riding with him, you're driving with him, he's like, all right, yeah, good to see him. Good man.
Yeah.
You don't know what the fuck his name is. You never even saw you barely saw his face, but oh dude, here comes that fucker in that white BMW. Oh yeah, here he is again. Oh, he's got 2 kids in the back. Shit. Okay. You all ass past. That's your tribe when you're on the road. You pick some people. You say, "Oh, dude, it's that fucker hauling the big fucking propeller again for the because we see those going down the road all the time in Europe, especially, but it's becoming a lot more common in California. They're hauling this big wind turbine propeller. So it's you know here I am in my house. We are 100% solar right now. 100%. I could go off grid anytime I wanted. I could live. Yeah, we're
That's
fine.
awesome.
We got lots of other people over there. But anyway, I
Yeah.
digress.
I digress.
I digress. What else?
Uh, I want to talk some about the future of MotoGP, right? We had briefly talked about obviously Jorge Lorenzo helping out Maverick Vinales to get his headspace right. We'll see how that pans out. I think you're right on that. Vinales is one of those riders when he's got everything right here, he's unstoppable, no matter what bike he's on.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we got Mark Marquez coming back with Ducati and all the rumors with Pedro Casa going to Ducati, Alex Marquez going to KTM, and Jorge Martin going to Yamaha. So there's a lot of rumors coming around. Top Rack's in there now, right? Next year, after this year, going to the 850s and Pirellis. This is the last year on Michelin's in the 1000. So there's a lot of shit going on.
Tires, well, the advantage of switching tires is nobody has the data anymore. We got fresh tires. I mean, tires change every season, and new development comes out. But now it's going to a different brand, and it's Pirelli / Mezzo because we know it's coming out of the same R&D design. But more importantly, the script is over. The story has been told. You could tell it was like you saw the script coming even before it happened. It was going to be the great Mark Marquez comeback because everybody loves a comeback story, and that's what they wanted. And Ducati had the data. Ducati has an older platform, and they have the data. And I'm a huge Ducati fan. Don't get me wrong. It's what I ride on the street. I can't fit on any of the track. Yeah, there you go. There you go. I got 4 valves in here, right there. I got 4 pistons out there, right in the garage. That's my baby. That's Rika. So I've always liked it better than BMW. But I watched the looks on people's faces in paddock. I saw the looks on people's faces in the stand when Marquez and Alex were at Catalunya, and Alex got the win, but Mark came in second. It was like, he let him have it. He gave it to him. I don't think so. Mark's a predator. He will take any win he can get. And those are words out of Alex's own mouth. My brother is an absolute predator. So when the checkered flag is dropped and Alex has won, what flags does he pick up? He immediately picks up the Catalunya flag. celebrate his home people, his home tribe, his home region. What does Mark pick up?
His
His
flag.
flag. Yeah. Okay? It's all about him. It's always been all about him. He's a psychopath. He's an incredibly talented psychopath. He has changed the sport. We didn't have elbow sliders until it was Mark. Now we're now. Of course, we're gonna have to. Some people they're gonna have shoulder sliders. Some becoming more popular, but he changed the sport. So props and recognition to him. But will he ever tame his aggression? He's got incredible racecraft. There's no doubt about that. But especially when he gets angry, when he gets pissed, he's a thought. He's a fucking machine. He clicks off the impossible, and he always takes it a little too far. And he'll lose sight of horrible injuries as he come back from. You can't keep doing that. Well, I mean, I know that just as well as anyone. We're old fuckers. It's not the years; it's the mileage. We've hurt ourselves. You know what pain is. Whether you've been military or you've just been in track injuries or whatnot, you know what pain is. You know what it's like being in the hospital. You know what it's like being treated by like shit by doctors who don't know what the fuck is going on. Your nurses do. Physical therapy people do. So, but the script has been run. Okay, had the great comeback. Now it's wide open. And oh man, I'll look at the calendar and see if I can attend some of the races live again. And I'm willing to hook in with my buddy Joa. It's like, okay, I know there's a bit of a black market in hard cards. I'm ready to buy. Oh, I am so ready to buy. Because once you've been on one, and some people, some of your listeners and other guests, they have way better access to get behind the velvet rope. So I got to pay to play. No one's going to say, "Well, you're an honored guest, Cat. Here, have a hard card." Okay, maybe there's maybe a couple of guys I could reach out and say, "Hey, can I have a card?" But I just don't want to be that douchebag. Can I have a card? Come on, I'll be your best friend. I'm not going to be that guy. I'll pay. So I'd like to be out there, but yeah, the script has not been written. I'm seeing a potential for the Revenge of the Italians coming on pretty hard. Bastianini, Bezzecchi. Wow, what incredible potential in those guys. I want to see what's going to happen in Moto 2. I always watch Moto 2, but I have a hard time watching Moto 2 for very long because the lovely droning sounds of the triples kind of yeah, I use it. I use it to help myself go to sleep sometimes. So that's why I want the season to start again. It helps me sleep. Uh, so I'm really. It's just such an open game at this point. KTM now back being more fully funded with parts and whatnot. Yeah, Pedro Acosta. Pedro Acosta is the real deal. He shows up. He drives his own freaking van. He mixes with the locals. But he's an angry little fucker if things aren't the way he likes. And you know what? I think he deserves to be. You know, he has the talent, has the abilities to be the next Mark. So give him a bite. And also, I think he needs to work a little bit on his aggression as well, like his race car. Jeez, he's
He's a
absolutely,
beast.
but he's a lovable guy.
Yeah.
It's just we haven't seen a whole lot of that lovable person in the public eye yet. But locally, the Spaniards know exactly who this guy is, and they love that kid. And yeah, I get to call him a kid. He's still a kid with a lot to learn, but he's wow. Yeah, definitely going to be seeing him on the podium more than once. A true contender for the next championship. Bezzecchi, Bastianini as well. I think that'd be good. Pecco, well, maybe they'll stop screwing over Pecco and actually give him decent parts. I don't know. He was always getting he wasn't getting the latest and greatest. They kept giving that was all part of the script. Well, now that the script's been run, is there another story? Is Ducati going to try to drive the story of having Mark Marquez be this incredible champion? or are they going to let Pecco have a go? I want to see Pecco have his last flare before he retired or becomes a team owner or what bike tester, whatever it is. He's calm, he's consistent, his racecraft is superior in so many ways because he's got the years of experience. Um, just give him a better bike.
I heard he's going to Yamaha.
He's going to Yamaha. Okay, well, good. Somebody give him a bike. And boy, I really can't wait to see what that V4 is going to do. It's been in testing a long time, and what happens at the track shall be shown on the showroom floor. That'll probably be my next one. Swapping out my Crossplane 2018 for a slightly used, um, quickly trackable V4. Oh, because there's nothing better than a V4. That's why I have one in the garage.
Best of both worlds.
Yeah. I get what the Crossplane is, and it was a wonderful adaptation to try to make a inline four feel like a V4. But the way that the engine configuration is set up, due to weight displacement and the narrowness of the bike, the V4 is a better configuration. Got to be a little bit longer in wheelbase, but you can play game chess.
100%.
Yeah,
I mean, and again, with Top Rack there, and dude, this season's going to be more so less. I think kind of how last season went. I think that Marquez on the Ducati already showed his dominance. I think Alex is going to be there too as well. He's got a lot of momentum going behind. Bezzecchi's got a lot of momentum coming behind him with Aprilia. I think it's going to be the same.
So Alex is still with Grassini, right?
Yeah, Alex is still with Grassini.
That's the advantage because the Marquez family owns a large portion of Grassini, so they get to call the shots, but also they're not as much tied to the corporate direction as Ducati. So Alex has a lot more freedom.
Yep.
Like, do the bike the way he wants it.
Yep.
That's going to give him a competitive edge as opposed to taking direction on high from Ducati corporate.
Yep. 100%. I heard that he might be going to KTM in 2027 too.
Okay,
Alex. So
yeah, I don't blame him.
Yeah, no, I don't either. I just feel like his market values is as high as it's going to be right now.
Yeah.
Right. So if he's offered that factory ride, he needs to take it now.
Yeah. Well, let's wait for the silly season and see what happens.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not our decision to make.
It's not.
And his agent.
Right? And then, of course, it's the last year of the thousands, and then in 2027 we all go to the 850s where it's a clean slate for everybody with the new Pirellis coming in. And I don't see it being like when we went from the thousands to the 800s in 07. I don't see it that way. I think that they're going to end up being faster than the thousands because they're going to have more corner speed than the thousands, just like they.
It's all going to be down to the pilots. It's a great racer is a great racer no matter what you put him on. You can put him on a bunch of scooters. I mean, you ever seen scooter racing out of Malaysia? Oh my god,
bro! I was like, that shit is awesome.
Oh my god, you don't need to go fast to have fun. It's about being at the edge of control. Well, oh my god, it's absolutely a blast to watch. I mean, we do crazy shit in the pits, with the little pit bikes and whatnot. Crazy races that we had in the pits just out at Thunder Hill. That's especially Thunder Hill East. That's where it happens. But this happens everywhere at all the different track days. People, they have slow races or pit bike racing and whatnot. This is what we do. We're nuts. Get a few beers on, or in my case, the mead. And let's see what you can do.
Skull.
Yes. Let's yeah, it's always a blast. I mean, one of our local heroes, Brian Bartlow. He's always a strong contender of that. Brian Bartlow is a paramedic. He's been doing air rescue now. I mean, these are our heroes. These are heroes. But the best laugh ever in the paddock at Thunder Hill East was we're sitting around the campfire. Everyone's got a few beers on, and Brian Bartlow says, "So, cat, what's that? Is that like short for something?" And I said, "Yeah, feline." And he goes, "Feline. What language is that?" And people just busted up. Just oh my god, it's just the best laugh I've had in the paddock at Thunder Hill East was all due to Brian Bartlow, and I'm just I just I think about it, I still laugh thinking about it. You know? A boot, but in
It's a
deference to
boot.
my brothers, a boot.
A boot. That's
There's,
hilarious.
oh, dude, I was just up in Canada to see the opening for Yalla Habibi. This is Ryan Kifflinger, who, again, one of those guys you're absolutely certain he's a better rider than me. I've been watching Fort 9 for years. It makes me bust up laughing every time I watch it, but also he's incredibly knowledgeable about physics. Um, and it's, it, he can do a stand up routine anywhere, and he could riff with the absolute best comedy people in the world. It's like, please, just give him an open mic night and watch him go, or better yet, put put me and some other dipshit up there and a couple of beers, and you're going to be pissing yourself at the aisles. Just he's so funny, and yet he's so stoic and serious and sort of kind of nervous for his own film opening. And I'm like, dude, you did it! You went around the world in 16 days on Ducati Multistradas. And he's talking about, what happens when you start getting tired and you start seeing things. And I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen shit. Only 4 hours of sleep a night for an entire tour because some douchebag has to be hitting on every local chick, and drinking way too much. Yeah, I've been there. You start seeing things. Yeah,
Yeah.
it gets crazy. But he did it, and his cameraman was really the genius because okay, yeah, you got guys right, but then there's the cameraman on the back of his bike the whole time, like getting the shot. Anytime you see a great film, a great shooting, remember that there was somebody behind a camera. It's not always drone people. Drones can't keep up with bike speed, not yet. Not at 150 miles per hour. They're going to get there. But still, you got to have somebody looking through the viewfinder, or you got to have somebody hauling ass behind in an FPV drone. Trust me, you guys in Ukraine know all about this. So it was incredible to watch. I was there for the premiere, and Jesus. So we're looking at sponsoring his channel, but right now he's on maternity leave. So we have to be quiet. Apparently, the gifts of baby clothes have just been pouring in from all over the world, like baby bibs and everything. But everything's like motorcycle oriented and crazy. They've got piles and piles of like towels, like shop towels that have weird shit on them. So
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway,
That's
so
awesome.
yeah, incredible. That movie is available right now on YouTube for purchase. And if you're a motorcycle rider and have a bit of a passion for riding, then this is an incredible exploration of what it takes to go around the world in 16 fucking days.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Well, I mean, there's people who do iron butt rallies and whatnot. And I look at them and I go like, do you also enjoy banging your head against the wall because it feels so good when you stop? That's not my type of ride. You're turning your butt into sawdust and it hurts. Why not just find the twisties, enjoy the road? I mean, I get opening it up and having a blast. There comes a point where, like, yeah, I've eaten tons of protein bars and whatnot while I'm on the road driving up and down the fucking five, um, or on the heading for the next track day if I'm pulling my trailer. But still, this is not fun. Well, at least no, it's not fun for me. But yet people are hooked on it. That's their marathon. They got runner's high. That's what they do. So, I'm not going to disparage someone's kink.
Nope, not me. I wouldn't do that neither, right? Yeah. Absolutely not.
Crossing a dangerous line.
That's hilarious.
Yes, I've seen the inside of tons of brothels, mostly because people go, "Hey, cat, I heard that in Germany it's legal." Yeah,
It
I've
is.
seen I've seen some incredible love stories blossom from that as well. One guy ended up falling in love with a bartender. They still see each other. still see each other. Eastern European woman, doesn't matter. That's they have found each other, and it was it wasn't one of the work girls. It was the bartender. That was it. Yeah. But of course, the dude's got game. Oh my god, the dude has game like I will never have. I'm always the guy who's like, I go to Billy Connolly for this one. Dude, she's totally into you. Look, who? Where? Which one? Why didn't she tell me? Why the fuck didn't you tell me? She said she was into me. I never fucking knew. Yeah, I have the same problem. Supposedly there's been chicks who are into me, and I've got like no game. I scare the bejesus out of most people. I'm big, but I'm not that big. I'm only 6'2". I get surrounded by these military guys who are fucking giant. Guys who are 7 feet tall. Go up to Michigan. They grow up big in Michigan. It's big open country, big people, big lands, big fucking hands too. My buddy Jason Redmond, one of our captains, he's got he lives in Colorado. He's huge freaking working man hands.
You're like, hi guys.
I'm a little dainty computer. Or geez, when I went there, he just got back from New Zealand. And I was down there staying in a house with a sheep rancher. This dude's like 5 foot nothing, but he's got hands just like bigger than mine. He's working on ranch his whole life, cutting on barbed wire. Incredible. That's what you do. You work in the garage. I don't work in my hands. I'm a nerd. I work on my computer.
I'm a keyboard warrior.
Yeah, but I grew up on a ranch, so I know what it means to get up in the morning and go out there with a hammer and break the ice on the horse's water pipe. So
Life skills.
Life skills. Well, that's why I talked to my physical therapist. I said, "Are you doing your exercise?" Yeah, I'm doing my exercise. You know what? Life is physical therapy.
100%. Mentally and physically.
Yeah.
100%.
So anyway, what else?
Let's touch on Moto America real quick.
You're gonna have me there because I know some people in the paddock quite a bit, but I haven't been watching it as carefully. So you're gonna be obviously I'm a huge Kayla Yakov fan.
Love her.
Because I have a picture of Kayla braiding my hair in the paddock at the ridge, and I hope to dine off that photo for fucking years. She's a full, complete package. She knows how to talk to us. She knows how to talk to sponsors. She knows how to announce. She knows how to play the game. She is the full, complete package. Will somebody please put her in Moto 2? Okay, hello. Okay, Trackhouse Racing. Hello. Okay, and sponsors, women's hair care products, please. Okay, Procter and Gamble. This is your girl. Okay, she's wearing out her hair, hauling fucking ass. I've seen this girl dive underneath me like fucking Alex Rins on the ridge, and I was just like, holy shit, and I'm like, the power of the R1, like, she's gone. She's fucking gone. I can keep track of her for maybe 4 turns and then bye. Yeah, there's no way. Well, I'm a big dude on a powerful bike. Yeah, can't do shit. So please, somebody throw her the sponsorship money that she deserves. Yeah. The same. There's other women racers out there. Fuck, she's taking. She took lessons from Melissa Paris. There at the ridge. That same weekend where Melissa Paris gave me a right telling off, and you know what? I deserved it because I was in the shower because it was just me. I'm a one-man show, or at least it was back then. With my shitty transport truck. God, I don't have that thing anymore. Moto America put me in the worst possible place. I got like no foot traffic. The wind came up, and I thought I strapped everything down. Nope, tore apart my fucking my pit. Anyway, so I'm trying to do laundry. Well, I'm doing laundry in the shower. I didn't realize that there were tons of people waiting outside. That's such an asshole. And Melissa's like, "What were you doing in there?" I was doing laundry. She's like, "Fluff and fold, motherfucker." And you know what? She was right, but I don't have a fluff and fold. I don't have anybody to go fluff and fold. I'm the fluffer,
And the folder.
Yeah, I'm the fluffer and the folder. I mean, but she was right because there are people, there are people that are racing and practicing, and I'm just there set up as a fucking vendor. I mean, I also worked. I also helped them. I helped them work the start line. I helped them as a marshal. As soon as the bikes would take off, I'd run out, move the cone, and whatnot. Okay, now it's a straightaway. And now it's a chicane, which I hate that chicane. What's the point of that chicane? It's a straightaway. Let it be a straightaway. But anyway, I'm this is not my job. I am not in charge of the track. I'm American in charge of the track. You think I'm going to tell Wayne Rainey he's got his thumb up his butt? No, no.
Absolutely not.
I've approached Wayne Rainey once, and I said, please, can you tell me where they've moved the media center, Wayne? Because I know you know, and I know I can just go right to you because I know it. Yeah, he's like, that's fair. Because I was going to do my daily announcement with interview with the raconteur who we are. His name escapes me. He was always talking about having me in the media center, talking out loud. Really so, yeah, I just remember he was the raconteur, storyteller. I feel like a douchebag. I could look it up instantly. It doesn't matter. He was one of the great talkers.
Yeah.
And he kept us all entertained. And he opened up that microphone. Little tiny kids just doing their first race to seasoned pros. Everybody was welcome. It wasn't about status. It was about, can you tell a great story? Tell me what's happening. How are you figuring out turn 5?
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, it is. And
So
you're right.
Moto America, I don't watch as carefully as I do with MotoGP. I just want to see more American riders heading to Moto3, heading to Red Bull Rookies Cup, heading in feeder programs like that in Europe. The problem is, the Spaniards, especially the less savory ones. Anybody based in Seville, um, uh, yeah, in Spain it's called as false as a Sevillan peseta. They're always they're very fake. They put on airs about who they are and how good they are. It hasn't changed for centuries. They're still the same people. They're duplicitous, they're rude, they're nasty. I mean, let's not forget this is where Carmen was burned as a witch because she was a bit too attractive, and she rolled cigars on the inside of her thigh. Yeah, yeah, with a death there.
That's my type of girl right there.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
100%.
Come to find out, when I parked my bike right where they burned her. I felt like such an ass. But in any case, what happens is too many prospective parents with a promising young racer come to Spain and they just they take all their money and use them up. But there's also some good people too. So I know the good people to talk to. Certainly, my captain in Spain, those are the good people to talk to. David Noya, yeah, no, nothing. They don't know. They will play to think. Who should they go with? Yeah, go with this team. They know the facts that there's so many racetracks in the state to see, and they keep building more and more all the time. So it's an incredible place to train for anybody. The Brits go there, the Germans go there, the French go there, the Swedes go there, the Belgians go there, the Czechs go there. Everybody goes to Spain to train.
Yep. 100%. It's readily available too. And you're right. Dude, I want to see.
Stays mainly in the plane. Yeah.
I want to see more Americans over there too as well.
Yeah.
100%.
I've seen Almeria. I've never ridden it, and now they have Almeria. Like it's just like Thunderhill. It's like east and west, and you can link them together. And it's been more than one MotoGP racer that just lives at a particular track, and their physical training. They don't go to the gym. They just track on shitty tires with this setting, with traction control broken, whatever. They just and that's and you know what? That makes sense. You've got other guys doing mountain biking. No. I would love. Is Brad Binder out?
No, he's still at KTM.
He's still at KTM.
Hmm.
That one win he did at Red Bull, stayed out. He didn't come in, and he won on slicks. Oh, there's another epic race to watch again. Huh? Balls, balls of depleted uranium to stay out of that shit on slick. Because I've ridden in that rain in Austria. It's fucking nuts. You get dumped on, you know, oil on the track. You don't know what you're dealing with, but did it. And he fucking kicked all their asses. It was amazing. He said, I'm making the call. It's up to the rider, not not the crew chief. It's up to the rider to say, I know the conditions, and I'm gonna take a chance. Yeah, and he played the numbers. He played
He
the
did.
numbers. More importantly, and this is something that we talk about people with lots of experience, or just you're kind of smart. You see past the say, this I could I can make a tour here. And the amount of times I've gotten so pissed, it, I've told my computer, because your focus determines your reality. And I have gotten angry when I shouldn't have with people who are much wiser than me, but they couldn't see beyond the numbers. This is a new tour. I've done this time and time again. Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll have some pickup jumps. It's just like your first time at a new track, or your first time at a new bike, or your first time you change suspension setups. Take it easy and go with your protocols and have fun.
That's the main thing is having fun. That's it. That's the main word right
But
there.
like,
All that is fun.
yeah, the people talk about Buddhist monks achieving enlightenment. You know, talk to talk to a racer who's just done. He wasn't on pole, came from the third row, came through, went all, and then took the lead like halfway through the race, and you see him come off the bike, and he's sort of like, oh, okay, okay, well, somebody give me a Red Bull, and that's not water. I mean, sometimes they fill those cans with water, but believe me, for when you've been concentrating that much, you're so depleted of vitamins, but also the caffeine will actually calm you down, things like that. And because that guy during those final laps, he was in an altered state, and he's sort of like, I call it coming back down to earth. You're up in the jet fighter, you've just been at supersonic speed, and now you got to like brake, 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 get your bearings, reorient to a different space-time continuum, and go, okay, I'm here now, and I've just won, and okay, I got to smile. And then you start realizing, fuck yeah, I won! Fuck yeah, I've just ridden my 10th MotoGP circuit at Brunel. Or fuck yeah, after years of injury or hip pain and whatnot, I'm back. I'm riding. Dude, oh god, incredible guy that I met at Portimao last year. His name is Tony. Tony is former SAS. He had never ridden a track day. He got on that bike. He was only 2 seconds slower at Portimao. His ability, from all those years of leading his targets and knowing, and filtering through crowds, and training and doing product, flicked it off. Absolutely amazing. And Jesus, you want to talk about some funny stories? I got nothing. I got nothing. Oh my God. Jumping with the French Foreign Legion. Apparently, the guys are half pissed. It's because they're French, and so they drink tons of wine with their lunch, and then they jump out of planes, and they're half drunk when they hit the ground, and so they don't break anything because they're all sort of sucking.
Yeah, they're just
The evening parties, okay, yeah, I'm not going there because they put these things out with they put out candles with certain parts of their bodies and oh god, just I'm trying not to laugh my guts out because we've got other military guys there sitting at the table and they're just sort of like, yeah, I
what
don't
the
know.
fuck is going on?
No, they're just like, I got my one buddy Chris. Chris is just being strangely silent because he's like, shit, I cannot. And I know these stories. I know about, but this guy was in a league of his own. And now he is a line producer for a rather popular television that is far
Nice.
globally in people's mind. It's very frilly. And he's like, I can't stand it. All we're doing is like, it's all like fussy, it's all this romantic, it's all doilies and stuff. I want some proper action. Come on, I want to be involved with the show with proper action, like guns and knives and stuff like that. But he's unstoppable because he's worked for so many years with proper protocol. Get him in there, get him in there. Scouting locations. Does that work? Does that work? Camera guy over there. Yeah, I've got your gear. It's all done. Everyone, march up. Get in line. Get the stuff out. Get the stuff in. This is our site. This is our scene. Shoot it now. And it gets done. And they don't particularly like him that much, but they love him because he gets the job done. So I'm really hoping I get to see him again and his princess. I just call him her princess, his Princess Chelsea, who had a horrible injury because she was trying to rescue a kitten and she fell out of a two-story.
Oh
Oh,
shit.
shit. Well, and she shows up at emergency room, and why do emergency room techs are also party animals? Oh my god, because these people deal with life and death on a day-to-day basis. So don't try to outdrink an emergency room tech ever. But anyway, they're and my other friends who've been in horrible accidents have asked this: why did you jump? Why did you try to commit suicide? What's wrong? It's like, she's like, what? What? She's like, basically strapped to a bed while others, and the first thing out of people's mouths is, why did you jump? Or why did you try to kill yourself? You know, another friend of mine, she got run off the road. Somebody rammed her car off the road. She went flying into a tree, and she's crawling over to a tree and trying to keep herself alive and whatnot. And the first thing they ask her when she gets into the emergency room is like, "What did you take, honey? What did you take? You got to tell us what you took." Like, what the fuck? Where the hell am I? I passed out of pain. Yeah. But apparently, people are products of their environment as always, and they assume that if you're in that situation, you must have done something bad to yourself or you must have pissed off somebody, usually something bad to yourself, they always say, which, particularly in the United States, is very worrying. There's that many people who are just can't be people. And they're just like, that's it, I'm out. Okay, please, one thing that I would really like to put out there to all of my folks recovering from injuries, beware of gabapentin.
It's
It's
bad.
bad. This stuff, I got sirens going off all around me, and they're giving this shit out like Tic Tacs for everything. It's supposed to help with nerve regeneration. Well, guess what? If you're taking it as an ingestion, it goes for nerve generation everywhere. All right. People are getting strokes. People are going batshit crazy. Uh, I had one client who was a real problem on tour. Oh, I love what it did to my mind, and I'm just like, um, yeah. Nobody else is liking what it's done to your mind because you've gone off the rail. You're screaming at your kids over the phone. You're screaming, you're talking to your wife. You're trying to start fights with people like me because you lost something. Dude, you really want to get into a fight with someone you really don't know because from military training and it, it's because you're amped up on testosterone and you're missing an SD card because you wanted to record all your memories. I have this thing that I used to record memories. It's called my brain. Yeah, I love shooting video. I've got lots of great video. That's my thing. I have a degree in film. Uh, but you're still alive. You had a great experience, and you want to start a fight the last day because you lost the SD card? Come on, grow up. Grow up. Be a mentor to your children. Be a decent guy. Fight. I mean, hello, mother. Hello, father. Here I am. Camp. Yeah, yeah. I love that old bit, and I swear I'm going to make my own with my own lyrics because it's like hello, honey, hello, daughter.
It's a
I
little.
just rode past Granada, because it's right there. My ass is sliding and it's raining. I could write the lyrics. People like they have a bad day on their first day on tour. It's like, come on, look where you are. You're with buddies. Okay, so it's raining. It's pouring down rain. So we pull over. We pull over. We put on our rain gear, and we get to a great little place to eat. And that's the secret. That's the secret to a great tour is if it's raining, if you don't have to ride, pull the fuck over and wait it out. And we've done that. Christ, we did that on the Portermount trip this past year. We hung out at this. We hung out at this bar slash restaurant. Across from an Aldi. We got some supplies and we went through our footage and we checked in with our phones and we talked shit. Had some good food, and we watched it piss fucking rain, just coming down hard. Matter. We'll get back on the road. And we see, and we're watching our weather ops. We're watching the clouds and whatnot, using my radar. Okay, right, yeah, okay, yeah. Look like that's passed. Okay, all right, it's gonna start drying out in about 20 minutes. Okay, let's all get geared up. Okay, we've recharged our comm units. You know, and it's still raining as we go out, but we know we're gonna head into the drop. And man, it's your heading across the highway, past all this beautiful farm country. You see the clouds part, those sun rays shining down. Yeah! You start riding towards the sun, like it's gonna get dry, and then the game is on, fuckers, because we're going to some tight, twisty roads, and we're crossing into Portugal. And here we are.
Love it, man. I love it. The last thing I want to bring up real quick before I get off here, because I gotta run to my parents' house, is you mentioned something about writing a book, bro.
Oh yeah, yeah. The working title right now is NEPUCs, uh, passports, NEPUCs, and peace. And I have my standard standard 10 principles. I don't have rules. I have principles, and it'll be a combination of science on the left hand side of the page, stories on the right hand side of the page, and also music that's inspired me. Because man, what would we do without music?
Right.
Music is life for us. It keeps you
Yes.
going. It keeps you moving. It keeps the joints loose and whatnot. Even when you're in the car, come on, And yeah, so I'm a bad karaoke singer. Fuck it. You know what? Johnny Cash couldn't sing for shit, but it doesn't matter because he left a pint of blood on the fucking stage every time he sang, and he was just a god. And so you learn from that. If it comes from the heart, then it doesn't matter if you're singing slightly off key because people are like, yeah.
They feel it.
No, he gets it. He gets it. So I've got some songs in Spanish. I sing El Mariachi. Can I sing as good as Antonio Banderas? No. Okay, Antonio Banderas is just one sexy sounding motherfucker. I just can't
Yes,
do
he
it.
is.
Yeah. So it's a combination of science and on one side and stories on the other and music to get people going. And so this is the ninth age of humanity on this planet. It ages every 2,160 years. And I contend that the Drake equation lets us know that life is happening all the time in this universe. It happens all the time because extremely rare things happen in our universe all the time because it's very big and it keeps on expanding and eventually will fade out. But we know how the universe is going to end. That was one of Lawrence Krauss's discoveries back about 8 years ago. It's how we know how the universe is going to end. So I just wanted to pass on what I've learned from my favorite scientist, and also hopes for the future. You know, the Artemis mission is launching this year. One of our clients helped sign the engine.
Nice.
He literally got to hold the original blueprints from the Saturn V. He's like, just like, yeah, can you improve on that? I was like, I'll try. You know? But his rocket engines, you know, actually, he is a rocket scientist. And man, this dude has got me. More about him later. I hope I get to see him again. Sadly, I won't get to see the launch in person. You know, I applied for the lottery. I'll be glued to the fucking tube, man, because I never got to see any moon mission. I was born too late. You know, I only get to see, you know, crusty old video of it. So damn straight I'm gonna watch it. If I don't manage to show up there myself, I'll let you see, because the launch right now is scheduled for sometime in April, because that's when the orbits align. And it's a longer ways to the moon than just getting into orbit. It's a bit further. So that's a no joke part. And most of the time, my head is spinning with ideas for moon base alpha. But it's 1/6 gravity. I want to explore moon. So the book is really about putting that together. I'm working with another motorcycle industry expert, Carla King, who is my blonde hero, who's been all across China in a Ural sidecar. And her method of crossing the border, because they're very strict about border crossing, she would just take her helmet off, you know, and swing her blonde hair about and go, "Hi," you know. And this is the move. This is the move that they would give her. They figured the only way that she got there was because she had incredible clearance to get there from somebody higher up than them. So literally, they would do this.
I didn't see shit. Just go.
See, I don't know why you're here, but if I stop you from getting through, then I am going to be in serious trouble. So, and that was her strategy, and it will probably still work today. Yeah, she's, you know, people think I'm some sort of hero. I'm like, no, Carla's my hero. Oh my God, the places she's been, the things she's seen, the people she's talked to. Carla's my hero. Well, she now runs a program for how to get published, right? Writing your book and how to get published, which I'm sadly behind on because, well, I need to pick up courses. I am no longer a captain. I am a rear admiral because I am a royal pain in the fucking ass. You know, because I got to make it happen. And I get very frustrated with people who are like, come on, guys, we've only been doing this for 14 years. You know what we're doing. Yeah, but the logistics, I don't know if they're going to. So, I've been to death and back. I know what awaits you. And if you're a decent man, you have nothing to say.
100%.
Don't fucking get in my face and tell me I can't. Look what you did. Look what you did with your little project. Huh? Look at you, man. Hit the gas? Fuck yeah, dude. People know you. You're a voice to be known. I was talking to Justin Conyer, who does throttle songs.
Yeah,
You know?
that's my boy.
Yeah, the throttle song. He's the same way. He just lost his wife. Well, I was saying it fucking kills me. But anyway, I know you said
what,
babe.
I know.
Okay, all right.
My wife's like, I got to go to my parents' house in a few
Okay,
minutes.
all right.
And run my son's friend home too on the way.
Oh,
listen,
wow.
yeah, this has been a lot of fun, dude. We're definitely going to sit back down many, many more times and do this. Super excited about your book. If anybody wants to go on a proper mega escape, get no further than Leo Track and Tour, 110%.
Yeah.
You can find them everywhere on social media. I'm going to let you give all your shout outs, but the first thing I want to say is, I say it all the time. If it wasn't for you, Kat, all the likes and subscribes and everybody that comes on my podcast, I would not be here right now. It's because of each and every single one of you is the reason why I'm here. And it's nothing but love to everybody out there. And I absolutely mean that.
Get better at doing it. Get better at doing
it. Yeah, you go. You got it. You got it. Real quick, big shout out to K-Tech Suspension, SFL Mini GP in South Florida and one in Jersey. Big shout out to 64 Degree Racing. If you're out in California, you get up with my man Ant Lee Terry on the Racer 411 program, and also my mama Aliki at venomsport.com. Um, I got 3 buddies that make graphics, whether you want your helmet wrapped, your car wrapped, your wife wrapped, whatever wrapped.
Yeah, I need my helmet wrapped.
All right, well, I'm going to give you 3 right now. You got my man Chris Grizzle from Drippin' Wet.
Yeah, fucking Chris.
Is a mega, right? Yeah. And then we got Reese Brody from REB Graphics and my boy Gus Rodeo from GRG Designs. Big shout out to Chef's Eats, theclothingkings.co.uk out in the UK. You guys can go to that website and order all your Penny Gas merch.
Yep.
And big shout out to RD Racing and my man Jake Marsh. And yeah, that's all I got. Kat, tell everybody where they could find you on social medias, where they could sign up for the tour, and maybe that book will be out in 2 years.
Well, man, shit, the book probably is a 2027 release because I want to do it tight and I want to do it right. I'm trying to make it too long. I don't want to be long-winded. I want to be funny and short and music length and whatnot. Mark Twain's words. I would have written you a shorter letter, but I didn't have the time. Like a good settled gentleman should. So yeah, our booking system is on WeTravel. wetravel.com. That's really where you can find us. So We Travel and Late Escapes. Obviously, our website is still around. We got it back up and working again after some problems with some SSL secure socket layers. I went in and did some command line stuff. It's been ages since I've done command line, but I got a good consultant here in San Francisco who's been knocking it out of the park and really been really helpful. So that's where we're at right now. The website kind of needs to be updated, but We Travel, our booking system's all set and ready to go. And I've been putting that out. So we'll get you some links and whatnot to make that happen so people can find the tours, what they can do, whether they want to do the tour or whether they want to do the Tripinar and just take a week off and get the fuck out and ride some roads and speak some foreign languages and eat some foreign food and laugh your ass off at the same time. That's what we do.
I love it, man. And on top of that, you'll have the most proper mega fun in your life. You're right. Right? Like, and don't be scared to travel outside the United States, people. I do it. Kat does it.
You're a motorcycle traveler.
Right.
You should not fear travel. It's just the passport. Get your passport control. The flight's a pain in the ass. We've got a system coming aboard to help you ship your luggage. Instead, I got to test that this year. I want to make sure it works. Also, I'll be moving to some gigahertz trackers. I'll put a gigahertz tracker in one of my pieces of luggage, and I'll just send it as a test, make sure it works. Got some guys at AIM Expo. I put out a lot of videos on AIM Expo, what I saw there this year. Grip Edge was the most incredible thing I saw in terms of tools. Absolutely top-notch shelf because they're designing this stuff at a molecular level so that stuff won't strip out. It'll also help you remove bolts that have been stripped out. Because, between sessions, between races, you're like, oh, shit! Grip Edge. I literally brought a container of Grip Edge tools and I brought it to NASA. And I said the intelligent design systems for the Artemis missions that are building structures on the surface of the moon, the robots need to be using these bits. Well, we have protocol. You can't just leave it. It's a demo. Shut up and take it. Hand it off to I should have just left the office of the chief scientist. I walked over to the chief engineer. I said, "Here, take these. Get them to the intelligent design people. Have them use it. Done. Bye. I'm out. Mic drop."
I love it.
Yeah, I don't have any patience for politics anymore. I just don't.
I'm with you. 110%, Kat. 110%.
There's too many people pissing on other people's doors over volunteer organizations is even worse. So, but it doesn't change. I'm a man. This woman works for me. Well, therefore, I'm going to treat her like my own little personal hoe. Even though he's never going to touch her. Oh God, man! Do you really have to be that guy?
Right.
Oh fuck!
Don't be that guy.
You can spot it straight off. It's like, how tiny is your fucking dick? Oh my God! Yeah.
It's hilarious.
So, there's too many people have died for people arguing over piss point little stuff, but also just like the abuse I've seen both men and women take because don't be mean to the B people. It's a fight club, we haul your trash, we serve your drinks, we guard you while you sleep. Don't piss off the bee people or they will kill you. They will poison your food and you might end up shitting your pants. Sound familiar? Let's think about that one.
I love it, man. I love it. You're right. Kat, on that note, dude, we're out of here. I appreciate it. This episode will be out later when I get back from my parents.
Yeah.
I'll put it out.
I'll send you something. All right. Go take care of your jigs, take care of the pets, take care of your parents.
Yep.
And
you too.
Oh,
let's go. And I'll
let's
fucking go, people. And we will see you next time. On that note, we are out of here. Kat, I'll shoot you a message and we'll schedule on next.
I have a mic so you can like drop you like I'm done.
Oh. See ya, bitches. We're out of here.
All right.
All right, Kat. Later, bro.
All right.
Let's go.
Calling all two-wheel enthusiasts, get ready to rev up your earbuds with Pin the Gas Podcast, the ultimate motorcycle racing podcast, hosted by Chris Simcoe, one of our very own excellent leaders here in Roanoke, Virginia. With expert analysis, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive writer interviews, Pin the Gas Podcast delivers the adrenaline rush of the racetrack straight to your ears. Whether you're a diehard fan or a curious newcomer, you'll gain insights that will transform how you watch and understand motorcycle racing. On your favorite podcast app, join Simcoe as he takes you on a high-speed journey through the world of motorcycle racing. Pin the Gas Podcast.